And you said, you worked for a medical malpractice firm when you first started, and you were like, I have to do this. What was it about that made you want to do medical malpractice instead of some other law?
Well, I probably would have loved to have been a doctor, but the math and sciences weren't my strong suit. So I guess this is the next best thing, maybe, because you get to learn medicine, study the medicine, understand the healthcare system. And then, the witnesses that you're cross-examining or presenting or whatever, they're medical experts. So in order to go toe-to-toe with them, you have to be an expert on the law, but you have to really dig deep into the medicine as well. So I just think I would have probably wanted to gouge my eyeballs out if I had sat drafting contracts all day for a living. No 2 days are ever the same for me.
Yeah, and I mean, having to dig deep into healthcare, and you can't just like do the surface. Like you had to really know what you were talking about. So you kind of had to be a doctor per se, you know?
Well, a witness, whether they're a doctor or any other kind of witness, they will try to pull your leg. And you have to be able to know, like, is this doctor trying to pull one over on me? You have to know enough to know when you're getting played.
And throughout the course of your career, because you've been doing this a very, very long time, has there been, a situation where, you never expected, like a case or something that stands out to you that was a turning point for you? Like, I've got to do more of this to make sure that these people are taken care of.
Well, interestingly, everyone thinks of the big tort reform in Texas that we had as being 2003. And that's when the voters voted to change the Texas Constitution to allow special protections for healthcare providers. But I was around for the first round of tort reform, which was when our governor was Bush. So that's how long it's been going on. But, most of the lawyers kind of that represented patients, they weathered the storm through round one. But in 2003, when we got the big bill and the big constitution change, the overwhelming majority of medical malpractice lawyers representing patients left to do other things. They're like, heck, I can't make a living doing that. I need to go become a business litigator or whatever.
Interesting.
So I just felt like I can't leave because somebody has got to continue to do this work. I mean, it's very important. Sometimes we're the only ones calling for accountability and holding them accountable. So I would say that was really, I don't want to say a turning point, but that's when I knew, like, it's the Hotel California. I've checked in and I'm never checking out.
Not going anywhere.
That's right.
And that's a big hurdle for you because you have to learn a whole different, as they change everything, more to learn, more to be there for. Are there any other big hurdles throughout your career that stand out to you that, maybe helped shape this podcast now?
Well, it reminds me of something that you can't let other people get into your head, because at various times in my career, people have been in my ear saying, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that. But I used to have this thing, I don't know what happened to it, but it was taped to my computer monitor, and it said, don't look at your feet, just dance. And that's kind of been one of my things. With the Dunch cases, for example, people were like, sure, everybody knows that Dunch is negligent. Anybody can make that malpractice case, but you're never going to make the case against the hospitals. You're never going to do that. When I was trying to hold drug suppliers responsible for basically selling drugs to pain clinics, and then the pain clinics were doling out drugs to people that didn't need them, people were like, you're never going to hold the wholesaler responsible. You're never going to go up the food chain on that. So I guess maybe that's a problem I have with my personality, is people shouldn't tell me I should
challenge accepted.
Right.